Pierre just having to watch his back here, make sure no teams are going to be rotating in late. And if they do manage to catch one of those teams off guard, it does make that late rotation. It should be fairly comfortable for them to try and clean up.
Circle moves just ever so slightly northwest is where it's dragging. Very much over Lava Fissure at the moment. But there were a couple of pings pretty much dead center to where the circle is now that people were looking at, just southern of the rocks where a lot of the teams are currently residing. But those teams who are at the southeast of the map are going to have the most difficult rotation because they're going to have to go past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams around Mirage Voyage at the moment. Nasky Strafe and Del, though, in what I would say is one of the prime positions to be in. When we looked at where people were pinging and the finishes that we've seen previously in Apex matches, they certainly could be onto something here. And they have the zip available. They can rotate up onto the bridge if needs be. Third Impact have been able to resurrect their third member. So they are in a position where they can have a full and healthy squad again as they just kind of shoulder peek at the moment, see if they can see anything in Train Yard. I wonder if that team is still up there being a nuisance in the top above Train Yard of the carriages or not. But Dead Inside are going to have to take this portal back. They are under a little bit of a fire under here at Mirage's Voyage. And remember, there is a team waiting under Mirage Voyage at the moment with all those caustic traps as well. That's where Alliance were residing, but maybe they've moved now with the circle shifting just northwest.
Yep, 52 seconds left on this circle, and it is Alliance still set up in this building. The difficulty for them is where is their next rotation and where are they going to try and play from? So Alliance with some decisions to make, and all the teams who are also on the opposite end of this circle around Drill Site have got some decisions to make. And speaking of Drill Site, here we are jumping straight into the action. There were 3 teams set up around Drill Site. There was another team in the choke, which they're going to have to move through towards that circle. So the difficulty here for teams like Finalize, although they have managed to win that battle, is that they are going to have to fight again. But KP on the board nonetheless here for Finalize. That's going to be good news for them.
Team Elitist eliminated. Outsiders have a team below them as well. They are able to do some real tick damage here. Fire just going out and seeing if they can find anyone below them with the Incendiary, but nothing quite so far. But they're getting aggressive. They want to get this kill, and they're able to pick up the first one. Mistral is able to find that. Can they get a second? Well, they're able to get the complete wipe, and it's going to be Flavor of the Month falling again in 17th. I mean, this is not what we expected from them, but we have to see them shake things up and change things up in Kings Canyon, as Third Impact now are going to be under a little bit of pressure from behind. But G has been able to survive thus far and will be able to grapple away with Pathfinder and should be able to pop off this bat, and he should be comfortable and safe.
Yes, beautiful wingman shots initially there. Just couldn't hit that last one to get the finish on the player who was moving up the hill towards Train Yards. And now Outsiders, they have had a player knocked, but they are going to be able to retreat into the circle and should have a fairly comfortable revive on their hands here to get that player back into the game. Kaden now is going to be pushing up just to make sure that no pressure is going to be coming in from a third party. But looking at Third Impact, things were looking okay for them. But the only problem is one player has dropped, 2 players has dropped, and now Ballon G is going to have to deal with Outsiders pushing behind him as well, because he might be the next player to drop, and that would be them eliminated.
Well, here comes Alliance then. They've been able to shift so far across this map to pick up some kills, and they're able to find 1, maybe even 2. This could even be a third. Faves is going to have to just back off here. It does throw down the bubble just for a little bit of protection, but that allows the rest of the team to push in. Figvam, Outsiders, and Third Impact all eliminated during this battle of play.
So Alliance have made their way into a position at least to potentially think about getting involved in that end game. 14 squads remaining, but the only problem is there's a team swooping down from them from above, and that is bad news for Alliance here. But Vaves has managed to get rid of one, and I think they are going to survive here. But the pressure that came in really did come out of nowhere. And look at Luminosity Gaming now with that scout in hand, trying to finish off those Alliance players, trying to get aggressive and get those KP on the board. But Alliance had to be perfect in that battle, and I think they managed to survive here. Alliance have done fantastically well to hold off that pressure.
A couple of members of North have fallen, as well as LG at the same time. Maybe we're not going to see the back-to-back-to-back from North. Sanya is the only remaining player on Luminosity, has to portal back, has to just try and survive. Is he going to be able to even get away to get a bat off? Is going to go from the medkit first. So many players were just eliminated, now down to just 13 squads. Mandy is the only remaining player from North, so I doubt this is going to be a situation where they're able to win this game, but this is where we need to start seeing how they can perform in a different situation. Now their backs are against the wall and only have the 1 player remaining.
Alliance now creeping their way up as well. 18 seconds left on this ring, so they're going to have to make their way pretty quickly as well. The flatline shots will take out the interception pylon from the Watson, so they will now be vulnerable to grenades inside that truck. You can see the Gibraltar ult being used as well, and Alliance really are throwing everything at that battle to slow things down. You can also see the Caustic ult being used as well, and that might just be a factor they don't really want to get these kills on the board. It's more about getting ahead of that team, trying to slow them down on their rotation, as IPN now is coming under fire from the team above them, and that team is SJP2.
And of course, they almost just uses that smoke grenade really to get past and get away and hope they weren't going to be spotted and get out of vision of the team. But SJP2 now are going to be the nuisance team with a little bit of high ground, and they are going to portal back safely into Lava Fissure. So they had a little sniff, they had a little bit of a gunfight, but ultimately they just wanted to survive, and survive they have done so now. So they are in a really, really good spot. And Alliance still doing damage, still picking up kills. That's a third for IPN, and they found themselves into the top 8 now. This is the Alliance we're used to seeing. This is the Alliance that can do some real damage if they can get to late game.
And Alliance just seem to have been under pressure for the last minute and a half of this lobby. However, they have somehow managed to come out on top of every single fight that they've been involved with. And, well, surprise, surprise, they're going to come in with another fight on their hands they're going to have to deal with. IPN's going to be pushing through the caustic gas as well and landing some nice shots to back that team off. And with a minute or so left on this circle, Alliance again are going to be forced to take one of these fights, but they're going to be feeling confident with anyone they go up against now.
Well, one team that's still surviving is Vibin. After a dreadful first 2 games and an early contention for them, they found themselves into the top 7 now as North, our back-to-back winners, have been eliminated in 8th place. So it's SJP2 with a little bit of high ground, and they are going to be able to finish this one off, but they get shot from the back as well. It's going to be Papega Gibbo who are going to be a nuisance in their backside. So we are going to see Matafe doing a little bit of damage, but just rotating off and popping a Phoenix kit now, because they have pretty much got this next circle here, Mark.
Yeah, they've been in a fantastic position once again here, Papega Gibbo, for this end game. And just looking across everything, purple shields to work with. Kuya's going to be working towards that full Evo as well, currently leveled on to purple. SJP2, who have had a pretty comfy game so far as well in this building, are now going to be shooting fish in a barrel, as these last teams are going to be rotating from the east of the map. And excuse me, KP for them is going to be the name of the game as they try and locate some of these players, but they're going to be inside that next circle as well. But Vibin, who you were talking about just a moment ago, have managed to survive. Well, Joke is going to be taken down, and that will be the end of their game, but important points for them at the opposite end of the table.
Yeah, potentially saving themselves from that bottom 5 for now, but they need more games like this if they are going to stay in this lobby. Nasky, Strafe, and Dell are stuck down low, but they're able to do some real damage at the moment. SJP2 are in prime position to win this game, and they have the bubble to work with as well, Mark.
And now we're going to see round 5 close, and we're going to see where these teams are going to have to move. And for SJP2, they're in a great spot. It's going to end up on those train tracks just to their left, maybe even just a little bit below that. But the only problem for them is the armor issue might become a problem, as they are actually going to get aggressively pushed here. I think teams realize that this is the gut spot to try and hold down. And if you can win this fight, you are going to be in a great position. And that team is Papega Gibbo. Denze, last player alive here, trying to desperately rat out. Has the Peacekeeper, but Matafe has got an R99 as well, and here comes the cavalry to clean out SJP2. Big push coming in from Papega Gibbo to take a commanding position on the map.
Actually, a member of SJP2 was able to survive. It was finally as they got eliminated. Nasky, Strafe, and Dell are still alive. SJP2 still have that one rat, but now they've been eliminated. Now it's down to just 3. Gambit, Nasky, Strafe, and Dell, and Papega Gibbo. Papega Gibbo have the high ground. They have the advantage, and surely it's just a rat on the other side. Kuya is going to get so much damage done here. They're going to get the cracks. They're going to do the damage. But where is this final member on the 3rd team? Because that is going to be the spanner in the works here.
Surely this is
it's 3 men
for Papega Gibbo to take. The only issue for the team down the bottom, as you say, Nasky's going to be taken down as well. Beautiful shots again with that 2-times wingman on the Pathfinder of Kuya. He's making that one work and has to retreat nice and quickly as he gets lasered as he tries to peek over that balcony to get some shots down. But they're in prime position to finish this game. 2 teams are below him, but they just got to be careful and wait for those engagements to go down before they finish them off.
Yeah, well, Gambit have been able to stay healthy here with all 3 members. I thought it must have been just a rat with how quiet they had been, but they had been biding their time down below. But now the team of Nasky, Strafe, and Dell will fall. And Papega Gibbo, well, they have the high ground here, Mark. Surely they should be able to close this one out.
Anakin said it best. And it didn't work out very well for him. Kuya going to be dropping down now, decides to get aggressive, manages to hit some beautiful Mastiff shots as well. They're going to come in, they're going to finish the job that they started, and they will take home game number 3, the final game that we have here on World's Edge. Papega Gibbo, perfect play from them in that end game, especially that push onto SJP2 to take that position from them.
Yeah, I think they just recognized where like the power play position was on the map, where they needed to get if they were going to win that game. They were thinking for the win there. They weren't thinking about kills. They weren't thinking about the placement. They were just saying, look, this game is winnable if we can achieve that position, because we know there's 2 teams that are down low, and as soon as we've got that high ground, it is going to be comfortable for them. And Papega Gibbo, well, we knew they had that in them. Like from week 1, they were getting an insane amount of kills, but they weren't necessarily getting the placements. But as soon as they get that right game, well, they show what they were made of.
I love the fact that they took that decision towards the end as well, as we jump into the highlights here from game number 3 to be aggressive on that position. A lot of teams wouldn't have made that decision to put all their eggs in one basket and decide that we